you grow up, you start losing interest in learning. But you see, I want to give you an example. So you see, I grew up as a very eager kid, and I wanted to know stuff.
Yeah.
So back to the day I was in high school.
Yeah.
The first day, when I saw the title chemistry, it bothered me.
How did you see it?
It was my first time seeing such a word.
Yeah.
I didn't know what chemistry or whatever the word meant. And I couldn't even go past it to read whatever was under it.
But did you pronounce it?
Yes.
Or did you try to pronounce it?
But the things I said, they're not any language that exists in the world.
What did you say? It looks like you never forgot that moment.
Yeah, I usually remember these things. But, Kaka.
What did you say?
What do you really want to know?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
not even for me, because there's someone who is where you are right now as you speak.
Right. Yeah. So just to give you context before I tell you what, because you'll faint. So
no, okay.
So we grew up learning in a francophone system,
French,
basically. Yeah. Yes, we used to use French to get all the programs we're getting from elementary school to primary school.
Yeah.
Until the end. Then when we got to high school, we transitioned into English, which was quite a transition, basically.
Yeah.
And so we were sort of, mixing these things in here and there, making all these mistakes and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So for me, I tried to pronounce it because I knew it was, because in French, you'd call it chimie. I found out later. So I knew how to recognize which words were in French or in English. But still, the French particles were still in me. So I connected. I was like, chemistry. Yeah, so
I mean, it's not that bad.
But chemistry is chemistry something because I had seen the word, the verb try before.
But you see, and this, it's good that you have, even got the courage to say that. And this is pertinent among so many Africans, and a billion of us, whereby we feel bad when we do not talk someone else's mother tongue
correctly,
the right way.
Right.
But have you ever listened to them when they try to talk what we know as our mother tongue?
Now that you say it,
because it's really worse than what we try. The mistake we make looks like a child's play.
It is bad.
Yeah.
Too bad.
So please, from today,
yes,
anything that was not your mother tongue. If it's not Kinyarwanda, I think your mother tongue is Kinyarwanda, right?
Right.
Please, you allow yourself to make mistakes and perfect over time. And there's no pressure. That's not your mother tongue. And you don't have to speak it.
I saw this meme that really resonated with me. It was like, you don't owe anyone English. By the way, so it was like Safet or something. They just mentioned a random word just to mess with people's minds. Like, you don't owe anyone English. So the word that ended the meme was so misspelled. Just to show that, guys, I'm free from this English grammar stuff. I can just say whatever I want, and no one is going to hold me accountable. There's no penalty to this. I can just say whatever. Because if you hear those guys, if they try to, mimic, even try to repeat what you just said in our own mother tongues, it's difficult. It's a whole different story. Yes. I hear you. Yes.
Yeah. So please, going forward, don't worry about those things. Now you're in school. How was that experience for you joining Form 1? I don't know if you call them Form 1 here or
we call them Senior 1, Senior 2, like up to 6. Senior,
how was that experience for you? Did things improve? Did you now start focusing? Because I see also you have some background in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
What was that like?
Okay, so for me, I'm not like the others that say, I started selling cookies and donuts when I was in high school. No, I was what I could call freely. This is me calling myself this. I was what I could call a dummy.
There's this joke now that you mentioned back at home. That motivational speakers say started a chicken business with a feather, right? So you're not that kind of a person.
Hey, and feathers was spouting, chickens were spouting out of feathers. I didn't do that.
That alone can tell you a lot from that just one statement.
The only thing
you're just you're saying you're just another normal kid who was, making all the mistakes, trying to understand things, but still self-driven by curiosity.
Yes. So the only things that I could say that I did that were close to being an entrepreneur or anything. So from, towards the end of my high school, my primary school, to the early ages of high school.
Yeah.
The only thing I did was help my mom in her shop.
Oh, your mom had a shop?
Yes, she had the small shop where I saw the Pac-Man thing that I talked about, and it was bothering me. I had to even turn it. Yes, to turn it so that I can't face the world. It was messing up my mind. So no, I didn't do any entrepreneurship, but as I joined high school, I started, meeting other kids from other places because high schools here, they usually transfer you to other areas when you are a boarding student.
Yeah.
So, I started meeting other kids who were doing sort of similar things to entrepreneurship, selling stuff, telling us during the, when we go to for holidays, please join me and we can take a trip or something, and they would charge us some money, and they would say, for example, from because the school was in Majerajiri and would come, some of them, they would come for holidays and they would have to come to Kigali because that's where their homes were. And we have these things that happen every year. We call them expo. So they are short of expositions and different companies, different organizations are showcasing their and also selling their work there.
So this Kagame Expo, which he encourages and he has built a good economy out of it, is not something that just started the other day. It's something that he has built consistently for over years.
It's been here for decades, basically. Yes. Nice. And it's a good thing because we might get to that, but a lot of companies are getting values from that.
Nice.
And we get to discover things from and we have now some other types of expos where even international global companies come and they can showcase whatever they're doing. And we love that. And it's a good thing. So when we went to holidays, some of these kids would charge us money. So they'll say, so Robert, give me 2,000 Rwandan francs. I'll keep it for you. It'll include ticket. It'll include yogurt. And some walk in the park or something, right? So
and it's in Kigali.
Yes, it was in Kigali, and the school was still in Kigali, but in the rural area of Kigali. So we'd take a bus, a small mini bus.
Oh, so they would still come through with that 2,000.
Yes, you'd contribute. So they would go to like 10 or 40 kids.
Someone who has not seen Kigali would get this to
even those who live there. But it was an experience. So you see, what we wanted was like a vibe, like a collection of other kids where we get to talk, just to celebrate that we are free from the books for like 2 weeks or something. Right?
What did you learn from that, Chief?
A lot. I saw that hustle is real. First, the hustle is real.
You can make money.
Yes, you can make money from basically anything. You can sell things that are not even yours.
And people have money.
As long as you package the story correctly. Yeah, so you're going to meet these other kids from other schools, people you didn't even see before. You're like, hey, so these people have like 3 legs or like 5 heads and stuff. You'll be sold.
Yeah.
Just as long as you package your story correctly, people are going to buy your stuff. Just make sure you tell them things they want to hear or things they should hear that they don't think they should hear.
Yeah.
So from there, I learned a few things. But
yeah. And what did you do about it?
Not much till I joined.
So you just learned, like, okay, I can't pull this move because I don't live in Kigali. Number 1, number 2, I'm in school.
Yeah, but
number
also
3, I don't understand this process.
But I'll give tribute to one trait.
Yes.
Because I grew up as a quiet kid. So I grew up as a one child.
Just observing.
Yeah, because I don't have.
You don't have siblings?
No, I'm an only child.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So that sort of played.
Was that so lonely for you growing up?
Not really. Not really. Because I enjoyed being alone.
You get spoiled?
No, if I tell you the stories of my house. No, I didn't. Not at all. Hey.
You grew in a proper discipline.
Hey, because so you see, just small context. Yeah. My dad was in army.
Yeah.
He was a soldier with some ranks or something.
Yeah.
And my mom was not different, but she wasn't in army, but the movements she made. Hey,
is it true what they say about military wives? They're also military.
Maybe even worse. Okay, now was better. They are more strict.
More stricter than even the fathers.
I would say so. In my own experience, yes. From what I remember, remember, my dad wasn't there for so long, but from what I observed from other military families as well, the kids would tell you the same thing.
Crazy.
Okay, so not really terrible, but you get to learn later in life that these were these things you went through with your mother were important.
Yeah.
They were important. They were shaping you for something else.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that I've learned. My mother didn't really care that I was one, or it wasn't different for her. If we are one, or if she has like 10 kids in the house, you're still going to get the lessons that you need to get. And the lessons, if she's not
kind about it.
Yes, for African mothers.
So, Robert, fast forward, you're in high school, you joined senior 1, senior 2. Was it difficult for you in terms of grasping the concept taught there?
Yes, academia, yes, but I coped up quickly. Yes, I was put, up to speed.
I know you're a real smart chief.
Yeah,
but the question here is, when did that moment of like, I want to really grasp my concept and keep them and be able to prove that this is it?
So the moment of the realization that I needed some help came in when I was the 31st out of 40 kids. The first term of the
senior 3,
senior 1.
Oh, senior 1.
The very first one.
And how did you get this help?
So when we came back to school, my mom is not very, very pushy. She believes in me. She knows I can do things. She had been, observing me since I was a kid. She knows that I can have some flop moments, but she knows I can always come back way stronger.
Yeah.
And I've been able to prove this to myself as well for quite some time. And I did do that. And I reached out to the kids in the same class. So what can I do? What do you suggest? And I was mimicking their moves, how they studied.
So these are smart kids.
Yes, the ones that were grasping things a lot quicker. Yes.
So what did you mimic?
First, few things didn't work. I tried to memorize things.
And you realize they memorize a lot after every other.
Some of them, the ones that were, the ones that were the first ones in class, the top kids in the class.
The top 3 or top 2, top 1,
the top 5 or something. Yeah. So they were. There were courses, of course, that required, doing these things. Like, because in high school, back in the days, I don't know what they are doing now, but we would need to sort of memorize a few things. Like, for example, definitions of things. Like, what is entrepreneurship? Who is an entrepreneur? What is a company? I don't know, things like that. You need to know the exact words back then. Now, since I understand things, I can always find a way to go around and find the right thing for you. But, back then you didn't really understand what the concepts are because it wasn't really practical. It was just notes that you were copying from the book. And you really didn't experience these things in real life. But now I've seen things. I can give you like an explanation. I've read a lot too much. But that's how it was. So I tried to learn. I tried to mimic, to copy what others did.
Yeah.
Some worked, others didn't. Yes.
So, how you finished, of course, your high school. How did that really go? Was it much better than primary school?
Yes, high school really gave me a very huge shift in my perspective on what learnings actually is. Because in Rwanda, the high school program is split into 2 programs. You have what we call ordinary level and an advanced level. So ordinary, you have all these courses that all of you in the country are taking.
Yeah.
And in advanced level, you get to choose, or they choose for you what specialization you can get. So for me, in advanced level, I did what we call TTC in Rwanda, Teacher Training College. So I was,
so you also a teacher.
Yeah, I did do some teaching.
Primary or high school?
When you are training yourself in high school, you can only teach in primary.
Oh, I see.
And
so because of the level.
Yes, and the experience that you have.
Yeah.
And the kind of knowledge you can be able to impart to kids.
Oh, but I normally see also guys who get A's and then they go back to school they were in as either mathematics assistant, no proper teacher though.
Yes.
Does that also happen here?
No, it doesn't. It's not really popular here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you finish high school. Where did you go to after that?
After high school? Here at ALU. Yeah.
So are you invited? Did you apply? How did it?
Hey, the early ages of ALU. You had to work for these things. Even now, it's actually a lot more difficult now because now they are writing research papers and stuff. We didn't do that. We only did some
Before
written.
even join, you are writing research papers?
For us, not that much.
Yeah.
So the research we did wasn't, really, it didn't need to be proved.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to take like months of collecting data and stuff. You could use, other resources that already exist.
Yeah.
But now, now it's different. You have to write an original research paper, if I'm correct.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Yeah.
So for you, what did you do?
Of course, we had to do exams, online exams. We had to apply, and you do English proficiency. They wanted to check your level of speaking and comprehending English, which I'm still struggling with. But God is good. We've been able to survive. Eh?
You are struggling with English.
Hey, yes. Hey, you see, my English is short. Eh?
And by the way, just to note, ALU was not where we are right now. It was in town, right?
Yes, it was
close to town, rather.
Close to town, in a place called Kimihurura, right besides Convention Center, and another building called KBC, which is across in a building called Kigali Heights. We had the whole floor, the second floor there. Yeah. So
that's why you did all your ALU studies.
Yes. So when we started, they had plans to build this same facility we're in at the moment, and they were doing that simultaneously. So when we graduated during the very bad times of COVID-19, but this one had been completed. So we came here for the regalias and stuff like that, and other clothings. We took some pictures for those who were able to get here. Others were back to in their countries, and. We did that thing, but
for those who don't know, Africa Leadership University takes a student across Africa. I think in most of the countries, if I'm not wrong.
Almost all of the countries.
All 54 countries.
Almost. Yes.
And what do they teach really?
So things are evolving at ALU, but when we were there, we had, I believe, three programs, if not four. So we had what we called computer science. Which is now software engineering. We had other three programs that are now combined into one. One was international business and trade, where we got to learn about people management, business modifications, and other important business particles, and how you create a business and turn it into a success. How you run a business and turn it into a success. Then we had another one called entrepreneurship, where you had to start a business and turn it into a success. So one way you had to manage one. Of course, you can start one. There's no even the computer science kids. You could start a business. There's no issue to that. I'm just saying what the programs are about. Hey, I don't want to get a call from the chancellor. 4 years. Yes.
Do you think it's an exemplary curriculum that most schools could learn from?
Let me tell you, ALU.
Yes.
The outsiders don't really capture what actually ALU is. ALU is a place to connect first.
So there is a lot of connections that happen around here.
Yes, of course. That's if you pay attention to what's really going on, right? So ALU is the best place to connect, first starting within the community, because we are kids. So for us, I believe we're kids from like almost 42 countries. You see, like that's almost everyone. Now you could wonder, you'd think, these are kids that will just, come here and study and stuff like that, and get their degrees and leave. It doesn't happen like that. ALU, they emphasize, they show you the benefits of connecting and building rapport with each other. Getting to know each other. What are their strengths? What are their points of improvements. I was going to say weakness. I didn't say that. Yes, things that you can help each other, grow better into.
Yeah.
And there were tons of those. There were tons of experiences and experiments where we had to connect and to get to know each other. And you'd wonder, you'd see, after we graduated, some of us are still trying to build their careers. But you see, in 10 years, fruits will start,
thrive.
Yes, exactly.
And this is very interesting because there are people also believe that not much of education that happens in most of the universities. Of course, there is what is required of you to pass and to graduate and all that. But besides that, it's also, the people you meet there, the experiences that you have in the university, and the ability also even to self-drive yourself.
Exactly.
Do you think ALU is outstanding in terms of that, or from your experience?
ALU is very practical.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot to learn in class.
Yeah.
And of course there is if you choose to study only, if you only choose to get the information you want to get in class. There are those, if you want to read, you can read. But the best way to get the most out of ALU is to practice what you are being given. And it's not like it's encouraged. It's there. You are supposed to do internships.
It's designed.
Yeah, you are supposed to do internships in our age. I don't know if it's the same system at the moment, but we had to do 4 months every year of internship. And so you see, you finishing your 4 years with 16 months of experience, which is a lot more than the regular experience you'd get in other average university, which was good. And from there, we got to connect as well from other people, even beyond us, beyond the community itself. So that's how people were able to acquire the jobs they are in at the moment, stuff like that. We grew a lot.
Yeah.
So yes,
sounds interesting. So how many ALUs do you have in Africa?
At the moment, we have 2, but we have other sister companies like ALX, which has other programs that are way shorter than what we have here, and we have what we call the Room, where they are telling stories of Africa, training professionals and stuff like that, and other different programs as well under the same umbrella where ALU is as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you think about such a program, what do you say, besides even the networking and connecting the different people from Africa?
Right.
And there's something actually I'll ask about that, about these people, because when I've been here, I've learned a couple of things.
Right.
What is that one takeaway lesson that you got? Because I see even after graduating, you continue to be part of the school and helping them in various things. But before then, what is that one key takeaway besides the connections that you got from this university?
So it's not to settle for less. So always thrive and strive for the hardest things, because those are the ones with the most rewarding rewards, if that's even English, right? So so we have this mantra in ALU where it said that you're supposed to do hard things. It's a mantra here. Do the hard things. Do hard things. So because you know why? Because the biggest bets are the ones with the biggest rewards when it works out. So please, and you have the resources to carry this out. Talk to people. You have the community here. People in over 30 countries. Imagine what you can do with that community, with those connections. If I want to start a company right now in Nigeria, I can call my friend Pelumi. I can call my sister Olua. So I have a lot of friends there.
Just from ALU.
ALU. And imagine which stadium in the world would you find over 30 nationalities all at once, except excluding the World Cup? I'm not sure. I might be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But all I'm saying is it was quite an experience to have. And staying with these people for 4 years, you get to learn. You get to learn from them. They get to learn from you as well. And you get to share these contacts, and you get to build this rapport. You get to understand each other to a point where you can even start things together. I've done that with some of my friends. We started some projects here where we made a little money. And it was quite an experience to learn how you can, actually connect with someone that, 4 years back, you would even think you would be able to meet or even get to start things together with. So it was quite an experience. Yes.
So you would say ALU makes African connection, especially with youth, possible.
I learned more than that, but yes, that's one of the benefits of joining a university like this at this caliber. Yes, yes, and even so, here's the thing that we used to sit as the first intake of the university in Kigali.
Yeah.
And because we didn't have any footprints to follow, like we were just, crafting our own history. Like no other program was before us.
Yeah.
And the university was crafting.
So you guys were the pioneer class that started
this. Yes, the class of 2017.
Oh, very nice.
So what happened is we came to school in September. Some joined before we had some other courses to take, usually in language, English and other stuff. And from there, we kicked off the programs, of course. And we had what we called leadership core. Hope I'm not messing this up. But yes, that was the name of the program. And we had 4 courses to do. And without going into too many details, we got to a time where we had to go to the internships. When we came back, every one of us was saying how things are different. Like, hey, Gaga, I think I'm growing. I think I'm getting better. I think I'm not recognizing myself. Like, it had only been like months.
Oh,
and you would see that you've changed. You've improved a lot. And you would compare to what you've been able to see in other your fellow kids, in other universities, and you'd be like, I'd still choose LU.
Yeah.
If I was to even begin again, yes, I'd still choose LU because I'm seeing what I'm becoming and things I'm able to do.
Yeah.
Not to brag, of course, because not everyone, not every smart graduate is from LU and Rwanda. But
True.
All I'm saying is, if you use the resources available correctly, which were numerous, you'd see yourself improving and getting to be a version of a person that you would be proud of.
Yeah. So at ALU, I understand also it doesn't come cheap, right? It has also been a place that has been taunted, like, even if you pay that much, which is much, it's not just that much, which is much, it still matches according to the experience of what you get there and the values and the way you view day to day. But do you think also that keeps away smart kids who otherwise would benefit from this?
Right. So I want to speak to my experience.
Yes.
I can't speak for everyone else, but what I've been able to go through was that I won't say it kept anyone away because, for example, we had some products in place, like we had what we called ISA, which was income sharing agreement.
Yeah.
Where you could apply you'd call it a loan or something, right? So and you'd study. Some of us even had 100% of the tuition covered.
Yeah.
So just make sure you're getting your academics, you're doing your internships correctly, you're doing your projects correctly. Just get the most out of LU as you can. And it wasn't based on how much you earn or whatever. Of course, if you chose to pay fully, it was pretty hefty.
Yeah.
But for those who chose to apply for the income sharing agreement, of course, some cases are there, but most of us were accepted in the program, and we were able to get the education we wouldn't get otherwise. So but that's me. That might be me. So someone might have a different perspective. But to me, I don't think anyone was excluded. Basically, yes.
Okay. That's a fair point. And
as long as you are passing the exams of admission and you're killing it. Basically, if you're smart enough to accomplish what you're supposed to be accomplishing, and of course, even for those who were struggling with even language, they had a program called Language Support Program, and I even interned in this program. And I know what was being done there. They were being supported. Everyone was included. It was inclusive, Kaka.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. So, would you say in that case that if you failed exam, it doesn't matter if you you could be able to afford the full fee, and you qualified for the entry level exams, but eventually you fail. Would you be expelled? What would happen? I'm curious to know about this.